one. The right stuff.
Right, if I remember... I don't need to do the dining hall. I don't think there's anything I can actually do here yet either.
There just had to be a knob at the end of the course. I can't reach it. I have no desire to anyway. The university beekeeper. Look, let's not hang around too close. He might try to talk to us. How sweet. Lovely little flowers. Just what the bees need to do their work.
I don't think I can talk to... I can't remember off the top of my head where I need to go first. Let's go here first.
Wandering shop. No one knows why. But all the most truly mysterious and magical items are brought from shops that appear and, after a trading life even briefer than a double glazing company's, vanish like smoke. They can turn up wherever there's a suitable stretch of blank wall. But once there, they have always been there. Dust and grime and a general worn look instantly dispel any doubts in the minds of people who may have walked down that same street every day for a year without noticing it. There are 3 general theories to explain the phenomenon of wandering shops. 1. Many thousands of years ago, there evolved somewhere in the multiverse a race whose single talent was to buy cheap and sell dear. 2. They are the creation of a sympathetic fate, charged with the role of supplying exactly the right thing at the right time. 3. They are simply a very clever way of getting around the various Sunday closing acts. All these theories have 2 things in common. They explain the known facts, and they are completely and utterly wrong.
A stuffed flamingo. Yes, well, I'm not quite sure what it's doing in an adventure shop, but if you must have a flamingo, then I suppose this is as good a place as any of us to put it. Just what I've always wanted. I don't suppose I can have it then.
Why not? It's yours. You only had to ask.
A stuffed fish. I can't say I think this is the absolute best sales venue for preserved seagoing wildlife. Still, if today was the day I wanted to go into combined camping and weapons shop and purchase sea life, then this would certainly be my choice du jour. That looks nice. Can I have it then?
Certainly.
What? No mumbo jumbo? No sudden insistence that I go on a special quest or anything?
What? Me? Order a princess about? Whatever are you thinking?
Frog-scented incense? Extra smoky? Frog-scented? In the middle of summer? These people are barbarians. That looks interesting. Could I possibly have it then?
Certainly.
Candles, excellent. These should do the job nicely. Nope, can't reach them. I better ask her first anyway. Books, the perfect resting place for overfull coffee cups. I'll have to get a few more of those. That looks nice. Can I have it then?
Certainly not. It's not for sale.
A strange machine. I don't know what it does, and I'm fairly certain I'll rest better tonight for never having known. Maybe it has something to do with this being called a wandering shop. I'm already lost. Let's not make it worse. An old woman. Well, I say old, but given the cruel abuses of this dingy level of technology, the possibilities of childhood malnutrition and debilitating diseases in later life, that gives a fair range, doesn't it? And even if she is old, I mean, old is a relative term. She's older to some people and younger to others.
Hey there, Your Highness. And aren't you a pretty little girl?
I'm not a little girl. I'm a powerful and dignified magician.
Why are you dressed up as a princess?
Most certainly am not.
You've got a tall, pointy hat. All princesses have tall, pointy hats.
Look, it's not...
And a dress. A tall, pointy hat and a dress. That's a princess in my book.
So how do you explain the beard then, eh? Eh?
I thought that was just probably your peasant blood, dear. A lot of men find a bit of hair sultry and attractive.
I wish a lot of women did. I can't really see that this shop serves any valid social purpose at all. It all seems like a total waste of resources.
Well, that's nice coming from a princess.
Look, for the last time, I am not a princess.
Okay, Your Highness.
Look, all joking apart, what are you selling?
Well, Your Highness, this here is an adventure shop. It has all the marvellous things people need when they decide that their main calling in life is to find a hole in the ground, collect some friends, and then go delving into the underground, armed only with swords, rope, 10-foot poles, halberds, 6 torches, and a flask of oil.
Good gracious. And is there actually much of a demand for this?
No. It's all collectible trading cards these days. Dim wick, the smothering. It's taken all the fun out of the business. I can't even shift magic items anymore.
Magic items? What, elven cloaks, magic swords, boots of speed, that kind of thing?
That's the stuff. We don't really stock the boots anymore, though. We did have boots of domination, but a female barbarian already bought up those. Anyway, do have a browse, Your Highness, and let me know if there's anything you want.
Candles? You do candles?
Yes, Your Royal Highness. I make them by hand. Well, I would make them by hand, but everyone just uses continual light spells these days. I don't really stock candles anymore. Those are just display models made out of plaster.
But you could make me some if you had the chance.
Oh, yes, love. I just need you to bring me the raw materials. Now, your grade A candle, that's made from dead whales. We used to use their nasal hairs, but these days a true pure white candle is made from spermaceti.
Where does that come from?
I never dared ask, love. Anyway, the next best thing is beeswax.
Beeswax, right.
We used to have a lovely bee milking parlour out the back. The bees insisted it was the only way to get the job done. Every evening, we'd round up the bees and settle them down in little chairs, give them all a newspaper, and let them wax away to their heart's content. Then someone pointed out that all we had to do was open up the hive and scoop out all the wax we want. The little buzzers had been having us on all along.
You just can't trust a bee, can you?
That's just what I always say, Your Royal Highness.
Oh, stop it. Be seeing you then.
Anything else in here?
One alligator, badly stuffed. Well, every magical shop has to have one, I suppose.
Where's the shades? Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. And what in the world are you? Yes, yes. Well, I didn't understand a word of that at all. Sorry.
That's a rat.
Barkeeper, I'll have a pint of Winkle's Extra Flatulent, my good man. Down here, oi! I said I'll have... oi, come back here. Don't you know who I am? I am Casenanda, the second greatest lover who ever lived, and the ladder salesman extraordinaire. Come back!
And you are?
I am Casenanda, ladder salesman and lover extraordinaire.
I don't know if there's anything particularly ordinary about that.
Oh, how we danced through the night. We danced and we danced till our socks were alight.
So you're the world's greatest lover, are you?
Second greatest, really. But the way I look at it, if people think you're number 2, then they know you try harder.
So, what does the world's second greatest lover do with his time?
Oh, I'm always looking for fresh challenges, sir. I look at it as my duty to bring a romance and step ladders into the lives of beautiful women everywhere.
This ladder of yours.
Ah, the finest ladder in all of the disc. The old equalizer, you might say. It allows the lover of a reduced altitude the opportunity to kiss his lady on the cheek instead of on the...
That's quite enough of that. Now look, I need a ladder. Can you get me one?
Oh, no, I only have one. And I need it for my romantic adventures. Introduce me to a beautiful woman, closer to the ground. A wild woman, a fair and beauteous flower. And the ladder shall be yours.
I hope it comes wash and wear. Find some woman comatose enough to listen to that lot without screaming. That's a laugh for a start. Well, that's it for now.
What will it be, lady?
Greetings to you, my good man. And who might you be?
Who?
You. I'm asking you what your name is. Who are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Amazing, isn't it? In any other city, you'd be mayor by now. Just tell me what alcohol you have to drink. And by that, I mean something which neither eats through the glass bottle, serves as host to a colony of sentient protozoa, or ends me up in any obscure, farcical little problems with chaos theory and butterflies.
That's all we've got. Protozoa. They're only little protozoa.
Ciliate or non-ciliate?
I think they're mostly rotifers.
Brilliant. He can't tie his shoes, but he can classify microorganisms. There's one for the education system. All right, give me one very alcoholic drink, complete with sentient rotifers.
You want I should make it look pretty with a couple of little amoebas on a steak?
All right, whatever. And they say the art of cocktail mixing is long dead.
Oh yeah, hang on. I need to Ow! There we go.
A tankard of ale. Well, sort of ale anyway, if you forgive the busy little creatures swimming in it. Oh, look, some of them are waving. No, I refuse to drink any alcohol in this game. Getting through the introduction was bad enough.
Let's hit the matches. Hang on. I'll put them in.
One vampire. And a pathetic looking one at that. I suppose you might classify him not as undead, but more as anti-living. And look at his teeth. I bet they get the blood out of anything. Strange though, I wonder if they're real.
Oh, blood, blood, blood.
I'm sorry.
Nothing. Just trying to get into the role, that's all.
So, you're a vampire then?
Indeed. Child of darkness, hell brethren, that sort of thing. Well, it's a job. Someone's got to do it.
So what do you do? I mean, I've often wondered just how a vampire spends its time.
Well, I am the knight, you see.
No, not really.
Well, that is just my point. How is anybody supposed to be the knight? It's not much of a job description now, is it? It's not as if you're even asked. Just one night you're walking home and woof, you're a vampire.
Is it that bad though? I mean, think of all the advantages.
What advantages? You tell me.
Ooh, lower food bills, low-cost housing, and black goes with everything, of course.
Yeah, but it's this whole night thing that gets me. I never stayed out beyond 8 p.m. in the old days, and now look at me. It's like the black hole of Jelly Baby out there. I keep falling over. Being undead doesn't mean I've got eyes like a cat, you know. I mean, I wish I had, but I haven't. So if I want to do any really good stalking, I have to carry a lantern, which pretty much defeats the whole business. I look silly.
Well, is there some way other than just stalking?
Well, I tried advertising. Wanted. Victims to be drained of their lifeblood by a hungry vampire. Yeah, you'd be astonished at how little response there was.
Quite.
And when I thought about it, the whole business seemed wrong. So I decided to give the whole blood thing a miss and start sucking something else. So I started on strawberry jam.
Did it work?
Well, it tastes better, but now look what's happened. See? I rotted my teeth. Who ever heard of a vampire with false teeth?
I'd sympathise with you more if I didn't have this awful foreboding that I'm going to have to use you later on as part of some overcomplicated little scheme. You're not a vampire?
I am! Look! I've got the cloak. I've even got the frilly shirt. Think I'd be seen wearing this lot if I was alive? Look at this! That's for draining blood, that is. Yeah, terrified now, eh? Frozen by my powers. Hypnotized by the terror that strikes out of the night.
Gothic horror is dead at last. I wonder if anybody will miss it. So, this is it. You're just going to sit in here and avoid being a vampire at all? Haven't you got somewhere better to go than a seedy little bar?
Where should I go? Oh, you ought to see my home, my friend. A coffin at the graveyard. You call that comfort, 'cause I don't. I'll creep into the crypt at the dawn and not a moment before.
A toothless old vampire drinking a Bloody Mary without much Mary? Can life or undeath offer any deeper degradation than this? If it does, I'm sure we'll soon find out. Goodbye for now.